Hey guys, this is Brian from Long Island Martial Arts. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. This is one of my students, Al Percy, and we're going to show you guys how to do a Kimura and one of the most powerful grip breaks in Jiu-Jitsu. So we're going to start from the full guard, right? So nothing fancy in the beginning. I'm just going to start with a regular Kimura break. So I'm going to swing my hands to the inside. I'm just going to remove my opponent's hands from my biceps. I'm going to pick a side. I'm going to stiff arm one of his arms. I'm going to control him at the wrist. Now I'm going to unlock my legs and I'm going to rock up. When I rock up, and I want to drop my feet low so I can come up high, I'm going to make a Kimura grip. Now me personally, when I make the Kimura grip, I'm going to wrap around with this hand, I'm going to grab my wrist, and I'm going to take my thumb out with this hand. So now I have the Kimura grip, right? My goal is going to be to keep his hands separated, turn into my opponent, kind of stretching away with my legs, keep his elbow to my chest, and drive, right? I want to finish with my entire body. So this is my goal, I'm trying to hit this. But a lot of times, one of the more popular and common defenses, Al steps up his leg and grabs the inside. So now I'm in a position where I can't really break the grip. So the first thing that we could try here is a hip break, or at least what we call a hip break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the guard locked. I'm just going to lift my hips, and I'm going to blast the side of my hip bone into his wrist as I pull the grip out. So I lift my hips with my legs locked, and I break with my butt or my hip. Now I'm in a solid position to readjust, leg press him away, elbow to the chest, go to finish the lock, okay? So again, I swim, stiff arm one of his hands, unlock the legs, we want to rock our legs like momentum, boom, with momentum. Now I'm going to shift this hand around and make the grip. So usually I start with the thumb, once I have the Kimura, I let the other hand go, right? So now I'm going to fall back, but Al's able to grab the inside of his leg, right? So he's got the grip. I'm having a hard time breaking it, right? Sometimes you can just pull off the guy's, but you can't let this guy. All right, so now I'm going to keep my feet locked, lift my butt. I'm going to blast my hip into the side of his wrist. So I elevate my butt with my hips locked and my feet locked, drive my butt in, and now I have my Kimura. Elbow nice and tight, right? Keep his arm bent like an L, lift your butt, finish the Kimura. Okay, that's one. So I take his hands off me, stiff arm, rock your legs, sit up, lock the Kimura, thumb out. Right, now I'm going to fall back. I'm trying to finish the Kimura. Al's able to grab the inside of his leg. So right now, I'm having a hard time breaking it. I'm going to take my feet, I'm going to leave them locked. I'm going to drive my butt into Al's wrist, and I'm going to face my opponent to try to finish the Kimura. Here, we don't want to finish flat on our back either. We want to get a little bit of an angle and finish with our entire body. Don't use your arms to finish. It's got a lot of mobility there. If I keep the arm tight, I can break pretty easily. Alright, so that's one grip break. Right? That grip break works really well. It's not the end all be all though. So now what we're going to do is a much more powerful grip break. There's always a trade-off, right? So the trade-off for this one is I'm going to do a much more powerful grip break where my opponent's going to have an opportunity to gain a pass. So to minimize that time, we got to make sure we go quick, right? So I'm swimming the hands off just like before. I'm rocking up. I'm grabbing my Kimura, right? Al's able to defend again. Grab the inside of his leg. So this defense is good, right? But it's not gonna keep him safe forever. So I'm gonna eventually break his grip, hopefully, if I know what I'm doing. So for this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my left foot, I'm gonna post it on the mat. Now my right knee is gonna fall right under his wrist. So a lot of times when I show this in class or whatever, people put their knee over here, right on their own arms. Kind of missing the point there. You gotta put your knee on his wrist, right? So maybe I have to move my hands out of the way a little bit. Usually I don't, but if you do, you know that's what you gotta do. So I'm gonna take my left leg that's on the floor now, and I'm gonna press my shin into Al's wrist. I'm kind of gonna do a reverse hip escape with my left leg. I'm gonna break the grip. Now as soon as the grip's broken, I lock my guard, I hinge my hips on Al's back, I turn into him, and I get my Kimura finish. Okay? So again, I'm here. I swim the hands off me, control the wrist with a stiff arm, rock up for the Kimura, make the grip. Al's able to defend, okay? So you gotta do this next part quick because if I step on the floor and Al's able to step over my legs, sometimes you get a pass. We're pretty safe as long as we don't let him over our knee. If Al gets over my knee, he's gonna look up my back and get behind me, even with the Kimura grip, right? If I put my foot to the floor, Al steps over. As long as I can keep my butterfly hook in, now I can start off balancing him and threatening sweeps and such. But now, if I want to do the Kimura, I gotta go quick. Left foot on the mat, knee in. So my knee is right on the blade of his wrist, right? So like right above my knee, right on my patella. Now I'm gonna drive my knee forward to separate the grip, lock my guard, shift my butt out. I don't finish lazy, huge pet peeve of mine. Okay, so one more. So I'm here, full guard. My opponent's hands are on my biceps. Lift my hips, separate the grip. Stiff arm, come up, lock the Kimura. My opponent defends, right? Now, left foot to the mat, hip out, blade of my shin on his wrist. Press forwards, lock your guard quick. Alright guys, so I'm inside the closed guard, right? Al's in my closed guard. I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to bring them to the inside. I separate, right? I'm going to control one of Al's wrists to the stiff arm. Right, this hand I'm using my thumb, right? I'm going to uncross my feet and I'm going to rock my feet for momentum. I'm shooting my left hand up and I'm going to wrap around to make my Kimura grip. Once I have the Kimura grip, I'm going to fall flat on my back, face my opponent if possible, right? But he grabs the inside of his leg. So I no longer have the Kimura right away. Now I have to break the grip out from under him. I'm going to use my hip. That works great. If not, left foot to the floor. Shin in, right? Shin right on the blade of his wrist. Push, hinge your hip, come over, okay? So now, in regards to this grip break, right? This is not something that like I like to force, but a lot of times if it's there, it's a pretty slick submission. So Al's here, I swim, I come up onto the Kimura, he makes the grip, right? So now, I'm going for my knee break. So when the knee comes in and I'm able to separate his grip, my opponent's unfamiliar with this move. Sometimes he's still trying to reach for his legs. Right? If that's the case, if I just open up my legs and stiff arm his shoulders, I can get my opponent right into a triangle, right? And work my finish there. Okay, so one more time on that. I'm here, boom, I come up, grip, knee break, right? My opponent's trying to grab his legs still, and we're able to lock the triangle. Okay? Thanks for watching, guys. This is Brian and Al from Long Island Mixed Martial Arts. Make sure you subscribe, check out the other videos, and let us know if you have a question for any other techniques.